gotta be the most anticipated rework we've ever seen, because it kept getting pushed off and off and off again. But yes, I'm talking about the engineer cameraman. The engineer cameraman finally got a rework, and it now has a new highest level with a ally HP of 250,000. And there's a dancing count. Either way, I'm gonna test it out in endless mode and see how strong it actually is and see how good it is compared to other spawner units. I unfortunately didn't get my chief back from my moderator, so we won't get the chance to use the chief against it to see if it's better, but that's okay. I have the engineer, I have the streamer, there's the attack helicopter. Why can I not think of the other spawner unit? Obviously, there's a chief too, but that's all we got. All right, let's give it a shot. Dude, I wanted that Aqua Titan so bad. All right, so we're off to the races here. And the one good thing about the engineer cameraman is that it only costs 200 to place. So in a weird way, it kind of is a bit of a starter unit. And we're going to test to see if they upgraded the limit on it. It used to be they could only place down 2 of the engineer cameraman at a time. But I'm really hoping they upped it so that you can maybe place down 3, 4. Because for some reason, he's the only unit that you can only place down 2 of. Any unit. He's the only one where only 2 of them can exist. They must know how strong he is. We take a pretty minimal amount of leak, but I was able to get my engineer camera down first. And as you can see, he does look a little bit different. They've added this shiny feature to some units. They added it to the Titan Wizard as well. Titan Wizard? They added it to the Wizard as well. I guess they just add that glimmer to the engineer. Because the Wizard is based off of the engineer. So at his level 1 state, he is going to let out level 1 camera rovers that look like this. They have 750 health. They have a tiny, tiny little blaster on them with a tiny camera. No blaster. Just kidding. I take that back. No blaster. But it comes at a rate of, it seems about every 30 seconds or so, one of the camera rovers gets sent out. And it actually isn't that bad of a starting unit. His next upgrade only costs 200, so obviously we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to wait to investigate what his next car looks like. Once again, that is the level 1 camera rover with 750 HP. And this is going to be his level 2 state, the small camera toilet. It is a toilet that has a little bit of a camera in it. And a lot of people ask, why the heck is he spawning in toilets? And I have no idea. I'm not a dev. But that 2000 HP toilet is actually doing really, really good on endless mode for us. It seems to be taking care of pretty much every big HP toilet. I mean, those police toilets are going to become quite a big threat to us, but we are going to boost him up to his level 3 state. As you can see, those toilets are starting to die out pretty fast now. We're going to need it to get a little bit stronger. But his new version is so insane. I can't wait to show you guys. It's going to be so cool. Also, they changed his animation as you level him up, which is really cool. Also, at his level 4 state, he does get the camera toilet out where it has 8,000 HP. So basically just a bigger, stronger version of its level 3 version, or level 2? Level 2? Yeah, it's level 2 version. And the camera toilet is knocking the toilets down like bowling pins. Let's call that a strike. At this rate, one more level up and the engineer cameraman's toilet is going to be able to take out the level 10 boss all on its own. So he did go ahead and boost him up to level 4. I should have been paying more attention every time I upgraded him. But at level 4, he's going to have a smaller, again, camera toilet, but this time it's going to have 15,000 HP. It still is not doing any DPS yet, but it doesn't really matter. But let's also take a pretty good investigation of our mans. So it looks like he has those nail guns / laser guns down at his side, and it looks like he's holding a water bottle now. No, that's just his hands. Engineer, what have you been up to? Is there something you have to tell me? And his level 4 to level 5 is only going to cost $1,000. But his next level up is going to give us that damage per second. That juicy, juicy damage per second. Without any issues, the engineer has been a phenomenal starting unit. Thankfully, only 20.9k exist. But it's going to be the same skin at his level 5 state. It's going to be a camera toilet that just has 35,000 HP. Which is going to literally one-tap that boss. Let's go ahead and waste no time. That toilet is going to die pretty fast. So let's go ahead and upgrade the engineer again. This time, he actually got a jetpack. I don't know if he can fly, though. And now it looks like he has that sparkling beam coming from his head. So this was his old max. It would be the 75,000, or I guess it was the 150,000 electromagnetic toilet. The tank, rather. That used to be his max. But now he takes it a whole step further. And he does it for only the cheap price of 8,000. Honestly, the engineer is a pretty low price unit. To max out a unit before wave 20 and it be that good is really impressive. I'm glad they needed this buff. For as rare of a unit as it is, it needed to get a buff. Speaking of which, the little birdie told me that they might have buffed the spider, who's also in the same boat. So I'm excited to check that out. The moment you guys have all been waiting for. The level 7 engineer cameraman. Let's go ahead and level him up. It doesn't look like he gained anything. I still don't see him flying with this jetpack. He has a really nice backpack on, though. Super, super drippy. but we are going to be doing 7,500 damage per second with these new tanks, and you guys are not ready to see these new tanks. These tanks are disgusting. Look at this thing. It's diabolical. Why does it look like that? The large crusher tank toilet. Dude looks like Leatherface. Like someone put him down and stretched his face by his will. Like he didn't have a choice. The large crusher toilet has 4 jetpacks on his back, a bunch of wheels, and he also has that shiny sparkly on him. And I'm curious to see what happens when toilets run into him, because he has that spinning wheel thing. Does he crush toilets? Does it show him crushing them? But that 7,500 DPS is no slouch. It actually is clearly proving to make a difference right about now, especially when they all start slowly stacking up on each other. The Mutoid 2.0 just walked straight into him and just got cooked. We have to build up as many of these as we possibly can. I want to know how far the engineer can solo in this mode completely by itself. So we already have one engineer placed down that's fully maxed out. So let's go ahead and place out our second one. And check this out. How much is it going to cost to fully max it out? 400, 800, 1400, 2400, 6400, and 14,400. That's all it costs to max out the engineer. 14,400. So just a couple rounds of fully maxed out Santa TV men. You have your hands on a completely maxed out engineer. The question is though, can you still only place down 2 of them? No. What's the limit? What's the limit? 4. They made it 4. Okay, you can place down 4 of them though. That's insane. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. We can now place down 4 engineers. So he got buffed even more. This is a buff that they didn't tell you about. Everyone that had the engineer before knew that you could only place down 2 of them at a time. But then he can place down 4. He actually becomes that much more viable. What wave is this guy gonna get to? I feel like the first laser crusher that spawned still hasn't even died yet. We haven't even gotten to wave 30. And now we have all 4 of our engineers fully maxed out. I could make this a full summoner build, but no, I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm literally just gonna let the 4 engineers cook as good as they can, as best as they can, do as much damage as they possibly. For reference, about every 30 seconds, I'm pumping out 1,000,000 HP worth of wall. Basically, moving wall units that do damage per second. Basically, the engineer is 5,000 times better than that of the Titan Sandman. And it's not even close. I just got hit with construction. I better not get kicked. I better not get kicked. Dude, all these laser crusher toilets are stacking up on each other. I think my first laser crusher just finally died. To be clear though, not finally like in a bad way, like in a good way, like, oh, it finally died. Like that's how, like, cause like that's how good it is. I'm gonna shut up. So at this point in time, I will be honest, that DPS is clearly not doing anything. I was originally saying how 7,500 was no slouch. It's pretty slouchable. We're basically only tickling those toilets at this point in time. I will give the engineers a little bit of help. I'll go ahead and place down a couple green laser cameramen just to stall the toilets a little bit. I don't think this is gonna do much. As you can see, the toilets are starting to get pretty far down the track. Man, I had higher hopes for this unit. Is it at least gonna be able to get past wave 40? If it can't get past wave 40, that is gonna be one of the biggest letdowns of anticipation I've ever seen. Oh no. Look at how far back these toilets have already gotten. You know, I'm gonna give out a little bit of an assist, but it's not gonna be a big one because the streamer isn't that good. So we're gonna have streamer boys also going at the same time as the Engie. You can only have 3 of them at a time. I don't think it's gonna matter. It doesn't matter. It did not matter in the slightest. The engineer might have gotten insanely base boosted and insanely buffed, but he doesn't even get past wave 40. Do you guys think this unit can even make it past nightmare mode? I'm extremely disappointed, let down, and deceived. I was convinced that the engineer was gonna be way better. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys think he's perfectly balanced, if you think he's too weak, or you think he needs a buff. Well, he did just get buffed. He'll probably never get buffed again. This is probably the engineer final form. At the end of the day, I'm just extremely disappointed with the engineer cameraman's appearance. Well, not his appearance. His appearance is awesome. And the new tank that he released is really good, but I guess he is super cheap to upgrade as well. And I think you're supposed to combine it with other units. And he's more of a safety net. So I think that's why it's okay. He's not really supposed to be a super strong unit all by himself. You don't really go into a mode being like, oh, it's okay, I have the engineer, the engineer's more better of like just helping you get set up and basically giving you that good ability to not have to stress over upgrading other units right away because he is so cheap and he is really good at his price for every upgrade. So you know what? Overall, this is going to get the stamp of approval for me. I think the engineer makes sense, but like I said, let me know what you guys think down below. And I don't have a bunch of time, so I still owe you guys a sign unit from yesterday. So we'll double down on the hashtag. We'll make the hashtag #HopelessBot sucks again. #HopelessBot SUX. HopelessBot sucks. I don't have a ton of time today. You guys know I live streamed for about 2.5 hours earlier, so that took up most of my day. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you guys like and subscribe to get that free sign unit. And I'll see you guys all again tomorrow.
Bye.